Welcome to NBA Vegas Summer League. I'm Jared Weiss here with ESPN's Jeff Goodman. This is the Garden Report. We're brought to you by ZipRecruiter. It's the best place to hire people on the internet. If you want to get someone as good as this guy to my right, you go to ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan, sign up for free, and you will post your job to hundreds of job boards across the internet. Now, the Celtics are looking for a big man, and they just acquired Aaron Baines at a room exception deal for 1 year. They have Ante Zizic on board. He's been sluggish so far in the Summer League. What have you seen out of him, especially with the little bit more improved play today?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's active, and that's what the Celtics want out of him as much as anything. Rebound, run the floor, finish. He did that better today. Certainly, listen, it's different for him coming from overseas where he was very effective, especially rebounding the ball. The game's quicker here, and that's the part that I think it's going to be an adjustment for him on the pace of the game and the speed of the game, and you're seeing that. It's going to take him time, but again, if he can give you 10, 15 minutes a night, now with Baines, with Horford at the 5, I think that'll be enough for them.
And do you see Boston kind of rotating quickly through those guys?
Unless they pick somebody else up, I think that's all you got right now. And, again, you got rid of Amir, you got rid of Zeller, you got rid of some of these guys, and now it's a new group and maybe younger, fresher legs. And that's maybe what they're hoping for Zizic. But they're hoping they get guys that can protect the rim a little bit, that can rebound the ball, that can just finish, because they got a lot of offensive options that they didn't have last year.
I like how you included Tyler Zeller as a relevant person to the Celtics rotation.
I like Tyler Zeller, all right? I'm a Tyler Zeller fan as a good, solid rotation guy. How's that?
That's all. That's good. That was good. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't like Tyler Zeller as a person? His game was tough to fit, but yeah, they made it work. So Jayson Tatum has been the story, really the story of Summer League so far, despite Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball's presence. We're actually standing where LeVar Ball was getting people going the other day, but Jayson Tatum has really taken over. He had another good performance today. He is a difficult shot maker. Maybe puts himself in situations that are more difficult than they should be, but so far he is ahead of the game when it comes to skill. He's 19 years old. What has surprised you, I guess, so far with what he's been able to do?
Zero. I mean, I've seen this kid since he was a sophomore in high school over and over again, and I said it. I thought he might be the best player coming out of this draft and the best player for the Boston Celtics, and that's the key here. He could score at all three levels. We've seen him make very, very difficult shots, low percentage shots, really, that maybe he won't be taking when he's playing with the big boys. But Jayson Tatum can do everything, and that's what we're seeing. He's got a game that's very mature as a scorer, the things he can do. And what we really haven't seen a lot of Jayson Tatum, and I saw it early on, really his sophomore year of high school, when I first saw him, he was a point forward. He was a guy that could facilitate. And we tried to see that the other night when they didn't have Demetrius Jackson, that he played some point, and he's rusty in that regard because he's been such a scorer. But if you look at what he did at Duke, it's not any indication right now of what he's showing, because he's got more freedom on the floor right now to do whatever he can. And at Duke, he missed the first part of the season due to injury. So I don't think it was fair to judge him in that system, where right now he looks tremendous. And again, nothing he can do offensively surprises me.
We see a lot of potential for him to be a deep shooter with the way he shoots the ball. He's got some mechanics stuff to work out. But the passing aspect is the part I'm most interested in with him. We've seen a few opportunities now where he'll be leading a fast break and the guy's running ahead of him. He can't quite make that pass through the traffic. He's still trying to learn that. Do you think he needs to develop that offhand more and then he'll get more comfortable with that?
I just think he's been such a scorer for the last couple of years. And again, when I first saw him, he could really facilitate. But over the last couple of years, it's been all about Jayson Tatum. Like, he had a great mid-range game when I first saw him, but he couldn't really shoot it from deep. So he extended that first. And then at Duke, it was score the ball, and that's what he was. Even though they didn't have a point guard, they never really tried him to facilitate and run a lot of stuff through him. But I think he's got a really high IQ. The biggest thing I worry about with Jayson Tatum is defense. But he's rebounded well, but can he stay in front? Who can he guard, right? Can he guard an athletic 3? Can he guard a 4 yet? In today's NBA, again, he's got to put on probably a little bit of weight to guard a 4 effectively. So you're going to give up something defensively when you play Jayson Tatum, but you're getting a lot more offensively.
I mean, they have so much mixing and matching they can do. They've got like 4 wings now that they can play 2 through 4. It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to find enough room for all these guys to keep them happy, but as long as they're winning, they'll be happy.
So then that leads to my last question here. Jaylen Brown has been a little up and down, but clearly he's more polished, more physically ready than he was last year. The skill level from Tatum's been pretty great. He's able to make up for a lot of his weaknesses. If Jay Crowder's still there, Gordon Hayward is there, obviously. who do you see of these guys breaking through and really playing dominant minutes, especially late in the game?
And you forgot about Marcus Morris. Another one.
That's kind of on purpose. I'm focusing on these wings here. But, yeah, I mean, Marcus kind of blows that whole thing up.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get time. I mean, he's going to get time. You know, 3-4. Like, listen, they're positionless basketball is kind of true right now with these forwards and the fact that you can mix and match him. And I think Brad Stevens, that's one of the things he does so well based on matchups. He'll go with certain guys depending on who they're playing, depending on who's playing well. You can also have a much more well-rested team come playoff time with all these guys. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how much is Gordon Hayward going to play at the 2. Can you play Jaylen Brown at the 2 a lot? If he's not making shots, it's going to be hard to play him at the 2, even if he's great defensively. So what does Brad Stevens do? Well, if he needs more offense, you throw Tatum out there. If you need more defense, you throw Jaylen Brown out there. You know, you got Crowder and Morris, and it's going to be a fun to watch now because they've got a lot more, again, talent on the offensive end. Certainly they gave up, and Avery Bradley's going to be missed. I mean, he is. He was just kind of a heart and soul type of guy without being a real emotional guy. He guarded. He got better. He was all about the right thing. So they're going to have a hard time replacing Avery Bradley. And I didn't love the trade, but I understand the trade. I understand why they had to part with Avery Bradley because he's going to probably command $20+ million next year, and they weren't probably going to end up paying that.
And are you hearing around the 20 to 24 range? Because that's what I've been hearing, but there's so much kind of inconsistency in the way that Bradley is viewed as far as like whether or not he's worth really paying at that level because of the way the cap is flattened out. Do you think he really will command that level in free agency?
Yeah, intangibles. I think that's why Avery Bradley gets $20 million next year is because of the intangibles, because he's viewed as a winning player. And he's gotten so much better shooting the basketball. When I first saw him back in AU ball, he was 16 years old. He couldn't make shots. And maybe mid-range, but he couldn't extend it. Now he did. And he just, again, he's a great locker room guy too. And Marcus Morris, it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in with this locker room because, you know, Marcus Morris has had his issues in the past. And I think they feel like they have a strong enough locker room that they can put him in there with Al Horford leading the way and Brad Stevens commanding the locker room and, you know, adding Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward. You know, it's kind of like the Patriots of the old days, you know, when they brought in like Randy Moss and feeling confident.
Corey Dillon even.
Corey Dillon, that's right.
All right, well, Marcus Morris, the Corey Dillon of the NBA. No, but
I didn't say that.
I said that. The best locker room guy in the business over here, Jeff Goodman from ESPN. I'm Jared Weiss. Don't forget to go to ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfans. You can sign up for free there. Thank you for watching The Garden Report. We will see you next time after the next Celtics game.